take out a whiteboard and marker. Okay? Please move quietly. Red row, dismissed. Green row, dismissed. Turquoise row, dismissed. Yellow row, dismissed. Thank you. Okay. We've been learning a lot over the past week about whales, specifically the blue whale. Today we're going to learn about saving the whale. We're going to learn about the folks who have devoted their lives to protecting creatures that really can't fight for themselves, right? You know, whales can't help it if they, wash up on shore. Whales can't help it if they accidentally eat trash instead of krill. So there are people out there who spent their entire adult lives, entire childhood lives, helping the whales. So, before we get started, we're going to do a KWL chart just real quick on whales in general. Not just the blue whale, but all whales. Let's fill this out. KWL. Save the whales. We're going to be thinking about today. We're going to think about how we might be able to save these guys too. What I'd like you to do, before we start writing stuff down on there, with your row, or with your partner, if you're just sitting with two folks, I want you to talk for 30 seconds with your partner about something that you know about whales. Okay? It could be something that we read about earlier this week. It could be something that you maybe knew before. Anything that you know about whales doesn't even need to be blue whales. So Tessica, Riley, Zariah, Chance, the three of you guys, Shondine, Alicia, Myra, Tiana. All right, 30 seconds starts now. Go. Turn and talk. All right, let's come back together. Mr. Turtle. Mr. Turtle. Let's go ahead. I'd love to hear what you shared with your partner about whales. Jacob? Can you think about that sentence again?
Baby whales drink 200 gallons of milk.
Cool. Baby whales drink 200 gallons of milk. Let's write that down. Make sure that you're writing small, because we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot. Hey, that's a good one. Alicia and Tessica, I'm going to wait for everyone to copy this down before I call somebody else. Okay, next fact. Who's got a second fact? Mateo.
That they can hold their breathing on their blowhole and they can hold it for 2 hours.
Do you know what it's called when whales come up?
Breathing.
They breathe. Okay, so whales can hold their breaths.
For 2 hours?
Mm-hmm. And I'm actually going to put a second fact up here that breaching, B-R-E-E-C-H-I-N-G, is when whales come up for water. Or not for water, they have enough water underwater for air. I see one moose. I see two moose. 3 moose, 4 moose. 5 moose. Okay, few of us. Jessica?
I know that whales grow up to 60 feet tall.
Yes, 60 feet. Not necessarily 60 feet tall, but 60 feet
Long.
long. Yeah, very good.
The length is 82 for the female and the male is 72.
Well, that's specific to blue whales, but you're right. So whales, what I'm going to say is whales, if the blue whale is the largest whale, then it would be correct for me to say whales, just in general, can grow up to 82 feet long. Today in math, I'm going to ask you guys how many yards blue whale is. Hopefully knowing what you know and what you will know after today's math lesson, you will be able to solve that problem. I see 1 moose, I see 2 moose, I see 3 moose. Actually, I think because we're talking about whales, maybe we shouldn't do moose. I think we should do blowhole. I see 1 blowhole, I see 2 blowhole, 3 blowhole, 4 blowhole.
I have one.
You already got a blowhole on your head. Alicia?
Whales can't really hunt for their own food.
Well, there's one type of whale that can. You know, Montana?
What?
What's the one type of whale that can hunt for its own food? It's
Killer
not blue whale. Killer whale, the orca. The orca, but you're right. By and large, whales don't hunt other big food. I mean, they eat plankton, right?
They don't really hunt for a bigger food.
Well, a whale shark, Tamaine just asked a very interesting question. He asked, what about a whale shark? Well, a whale shark is named not because it's a whale that looks like a shark, but it's a shark that looks like a whale.
It
Yes.
doesn't, what is it? It doesn't kill anything.
Yeah. So whales don't, let's just say don't hunt humans, don't hunt other mammals.
Don't eat, they're not carnivores.
I think that they are carnivores.
No,
Because they eat.
They're kind of overboard.
I'm going to say except. Can you please open up the or the killer whale. That is a very notable exception.
I'm in outer space.
If you've run out of space, then you can just cast your marker.
I like your KWL chart, Mr. Williams.
Thank you.
That form you sent me is blank. Is there any chance you like downloaded it and sent me?
I could definitely resend that. Okay, sorry. Okay, KWL. Let's do 2 more. If you already filled up your space, just go ahead, cap your marker, put it down. But if you have more space, again, like I said, we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot about whales these past couple days. Alicia. Oh, blowhole. Sorry, blowhole. Kent blowhole. Jacob blowhole. 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 All right. Does anybody have another fact before we move into the what do you want to learn? We've got a lot of facts, so I think what I'll do is I'll just write down one more, and then if you want to say yours, I'd love to hear it. Colton, what's your fact?
Lines on the W one.
Okay, so save it for the W then. Monteo.
That girls can't breathe while they're sleeping, so they can do
Yes, they have to remember to breathe. That's the crazy thing about whales. I love that fact about whales. Whales do not automatically breathe. Whales have to remind themselves to breathe.
Dolphins do. Yeah, and beluga whales too.
To breathe. All right. Now I'm going to stop writing because I've run out of space, which is pretty awesome because when we started this week, we had like facts up to here. Not a lot of facts. Now we got facts. Facts for days. Riley.
That a blue whale is bigger than a velociraptor.
Yes, well, it's much larger than a velociraptor because a velociraptor is like maybe the size of Mr. Boyce.
I mean,
You're thinking about a
no, it's the size of a kid.
or a kid.
A megalodon.
A megalodon. That's what you're thinking. That's good. Yeah, they're the largest and the larger animal. What was that? What was the example that they used in the passage yesterday? It was like a woolly mammoth, but it was a type of elephant. Remember what it is, Jacob? Well, woolly mammoth. Tamaine, what was it? It was a bull elephant. They said that a bull elephant could stand on the tongue. Oh, wow. Can you imagine if an elephant tried to stand on your tongue? No more.
The tongue is gone. That's not possible.
Okay. So finish copying.
If
you're done.
Is that how strong their tongue is? That will be small.
Mister.
Turtle.
Oh no. All right, W. What do we want to learn? What do we want to learn? What do we want to know? Now, before we start answering questions, before we start filling out our W, I want to remind you that today's story is about saving the whales. So I would love it if the questions that you asked, now again, you can ask whatever questions you want, and I'm going to try my hardest to answer them today, but I'd love it if your questions in some way were about saving the blue whales. I'm going to start off with Jacob.
I want to learn how did people kill whales?
I love the way that you started out your question. That I want to know. Now, you don't need to write this down every single time, but if you're sharing out your question with me, I'd love it if you started out that way. So Jacob's question was, and I think that's a good one, why do people kill whales?
They're so innocent.
Yeah, it seems like it, right?
Well, they're not doing nothing.
Why do people kill whales? Yeah, they're underwater. It seems like it would be inconvenient to kill a whale. You have to go out on a boat. Seems like a weird thing to kill a whale. I'm going to wait for you to fill out your W. And I'm going to wait for you to fill out your W.
Okay.
You see that Monteo's done? This blowhole is spitting water. I see that Riley's blowhole is spitting water. Tessica, okay. Another question? Another W? Monteo?
How can
How can we help the whales? Shandy?
I want to know how long baby whales are when they're newborn.
Okay, so how long is a newborn whale? Okay, so a question not necessarily about saving the whale, but an interesting question. How long is a newborn whale?
Aren't they like the
Yeah, they're quite large. We actually read about this yesterday when you weren't here. They're super large. They're about the size, they come out the size of elephants.
Oh my god.
All right, like imagine the elephant at the Albuquerque Zoo. Giving birth to that, oh my gosh. Ouch. Riley?
Maybe. Well, oh yeah. How long were the blue whales around?
How long were the blue whales around? Well, I can tell you that right now. They've been around for millions of years. They're one of the oldest mammals.
I thought sharks they were here when the dinosaurs were alive. Yeah.
That's more questions about whales. I like that one though. Alicia.
How do whales get washed up on land?
Oh, how do whales get washed up on land? Or how about why do whales wash up on land? Now, some of these questions we'll be able to answer just in what we read today. Other questions, we're going to have to go back and we're going to have to Google these after we finish up our lesson today. Okay?
What is the way of whales?
What is the way of whales? What do you mean by that?
Wait,
What is the weight of whales? How much do whales weigh?
like in the thousands. Really? Or the 1,000. Because when they're babies, they just maybe 1 ton. More than 1 ton, maybe 200 pounds.
Now, real quick, Jacob, I got a question for you. I got a question to build off your question. What type of whale are you talking about? For example, if a whale asked you, well, how much do people weigh? Your weight is very different from my weight. So just like us, whale weights are so different. A killer whale weighs a lot less than a blue whale. A beluga whale weighs different from a sperm whale.
A white whale.
Or a white whale. So think, do you have a specific whale you want to know about?
An
Orca whale. Okay, also known as a killer whale. I was also trying to figure out what it was called. I remember it's not an ochre whale. Ochre is like it's a meal that you eat. Riley, and then Colton. Begin.
Okay, maybe how much does a blue whale tongue weigh so then that bull elephant can stand on it, so how much does it weigh?
Riley, such a good question. I love how specific it is. Not just how much does a whale tongue weigh, how much does a blue whale tongue weigh? That's such an interesting question. I don't even know. There might not be an answer for this, but I like it. How much does a blue whale tongue is spelled Tongue weigh? And then Colton, you're going to ask our last question, okay?
What weapon did the people use to kill the crow? They used
Colton, that's such a good question. What weapon did people use?
I know. Weapons. Yeah. What?
We're going to learn all about them.
I don't know. I know a harpoon. It is really strong. You should.
Mister,
Drill.
be quietly writing. All right. And once you finish that up, I'd like you to cap your markers, put them in your desk. Keep your chart out on your desk. I don't know that you're done when you have everything off of your desk except your whiteboard. Riley is passing out our story for the day. And before we get started, I actually have a question for you guys. You guys have asked a lot of questions so far, a lot of really good questions. I'm going to wait to ask my question until I see all markers put away. And it's a question that you may not know the answer to. It's just a question that's on my mind. I see. No, Tiana. Usually Mr. Boyce. Tiana, can you partner up with Myra too? So, this is the question that I have. And I see that everybody's ready. I see that Tamaine is ready, and I know that he's ready because his whiteboard marker is put away. I see that Mateo is ready, and Myra is ready. I see that Chance is ready because everything is put away, and Elisa and Shundeen. My question to you, and I'd like you to see if you can come up with some ideas. And again, you may not know the answer. But we see the title of this and we see Save the Whales. Now, before you read that title, how many of you guys knew that whales were in danger? Just a couple of us, right? Now, what are some of the reasons that you think that whales are in danger? What are some of the things that you think can make life dangerous for a whale? Now, before you share out, what I'd love you to do is talk to your partner. See if you can come up with some ideas. It's okay if you're wrong. We're just guessing right now. We don't know. So, you and Shundeen. I like how Jacob and Mateo are chatting right now. What do you guys think? Why do you think whales can be in danger? Interesting. Okay. What do you think could make life dangerous for a whale? All right, let's come together. I'd love to hear your guesses. Now again, these are just guesses right now, but I heard a lot of really good conversation. Okay? Jacob, what did you and your partner think? Okay, Mateo. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I know that when my dog eats trash, it's a really scary thing because sometimes my dog can't digest that trash. Now what happens if my dog eats something that he can't digest? He can choke, he can die. And I need to take him to a vet. Are there whale vets though? Now, if I had a whale that ate something rotten, could I take him to the vet? No.
It's too heavy.
It's too heavy. And I don't think there's a vet in this country that operates on whales. That's a good answer. That's a good guess. Colt, what do you think? Okay, I'm sorry. It looked a lot like a hand raise. Riley?
Maybe because sometimes they get too close to shore and they get washed up.
Yeah, so sometimes maybe their sonar's a little off and they get into a little shallow water and they get trapped. I like it. Chance, what about you? What do you think? Yeah, you guys have probably seen on the news like sometimes there are oil leaks in the ocean, and so sometimes maybe instead of drinking water, you drink oil. Now, what happens to you guys if you drink oil? You die. Whales are the same thing. Whales are the same problem. Montana. Because exactly right. The oil has chemicals in it that kills the whales. Okay. A new voice. A new hypothesis. Shundeen. Interesting. I like Shundeen. So Shundeen is saying that, okay, whales eat fish, people eat fish. What if the people eat too much fish? What's left for the whales? Nothing. I like that. That's a really good guess.
Or plankton.
Or plankton. I don't know. I don't know who would eat a plankton, but
Whales.
the world is very diverse. Alicia.
What I think is probably because like sharks, since they have whales, and they get washed up on land, and they'll be able to breathe and stuff.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't know if whales eat sharks or sharks eat whales, but that'd be something I'd like to know. And that'd be something I'd like to learn. Riley?
What if plankton stop growing and then the whales won't have anything else to eat because they don't eat fish. Some of them
Wha-
don't. And then most of them eat plankton, and if there's no more plankton, then they can't eat it.
I like that a lot. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. You may not know the answer to it, but why do you think plankton might stop growing?
Oh, because maybe because the whales eat buckets a day.
Yeah, maybe there's only so much plankton in the world. Okay. Anybody else have another idea why plankton might stop growing? Maybe something you've read about in the news?
It's probably something they're thinking, like think that the whales are eating our kind, so we have to stop down where whales are going, so we have to go around.
I like that idea a lot. Cool.
I know why sharks attack whales. Some type of like great whites attack baby killer whales, like baby orcas.
That's true. That is true. Okay, so we have a lot of ideas about why the life of a whale is a dangerous life. Monteo, I'm going to give you our last thought before we start our story.
How is a whale different from ours?
How is a whale different from what?
How is a whale has a life?
Oh, how is the whale life different from our life?
Maybe because they can live 110 years.
Well, let's come back to that question in the end. What I'd like you guys to do is, before we do anything, please put your name on your paper and number your paragraphs. We number our paragraphs so that we can do the C in race, which is cite text evidence.
There's not that many paragraphs.
There's not that many paragraphs, there's 4. All right. What I'd like you guys to do is you may either work on this independently or with a partner. It is up to you. I'm going to give you guys 10 minutes to do as much of this as you can. Please stand up. Raise your paper above your head. Push in your chair, Mr. Deskins. I will know that you are ready when you have your paper in one hand, your pencil in one hand, both raised above your head. When I make a whale sound, I will dismiss you to find a partner or work independently. You may choose any spot in the room. I will put 10 minutes up on Dojo. Ready, set,
Hello.
Once you find your partner, you may choose a spot in the room. Who's going to work together?
Because I started
Riley,
trying
you
to
pick
get
something. 3, 2, 1.
I make it.
Okay.
That's what the book was.